Hello, everyone. So this video will either be arriving to you Monday as just a supplemental video lesson, or it will be arriving to you Monday as kind of a set of instructions for what to do. I am not 100% sure I'm going to be back Monday yet, but hopefully I will be. Um, I woke up this morning feeling a little worse. So to those of you who have checked in, again, I want to thank you, and I want to say just what a blessing it is to have young people in my life that care enough to check in on me. It's so sweet, and I love it. Like I've said, you can say mean things to me all day, and I won't cry. But the second something's nice, I'm very boo-hooey. If I am boohooing at the moment, it's just because my eyes are burning ferociously. So anyway, either a supplemental video lesson, which can walk you through the assignment if you missed instructions, walk you through a few other things, or if you are absent, this is going to be very good for you. Similarly, if I am absent, this is going to be good for you. I need to keep an eye on my time. All right, so sorry. The first thing I want to mention is that obviously journal checks did not happen on Friday the 26th. If I'm not there, I can't expect myself to check journals. So it kind of buys you some time. I hope I wasn't the victim of somebody wishing me ill, as that would go. I will be posting up to Google Classroom, but it's a little trickier than I expected. Final copies of my journal page. I even wrote myself a small affirmation and gave myself some stickers. If there was advice I could give people when they're young, it's start telling yourself you're awesome, because once you believe you're awesome, no one has control over you anymore in a good way. So, I wrote to myself, yay, I may be the teacher, but I finished my page, and it's important to celebrate your victories. So stay happy. And I gave myself some cute stickers. So that page will be checked in your journal. The page that has, and there are copies of this on Google Classroom, are bifold. Potential energy organizer will be there. So that's the majority of our kinetic and potential energy stuff in there. Now, our forms of energy page, I promised I would get up this weekend, and I'm going to try to. I'm not doing a spectacular job at handwriting right now, and I don't have my highlighter pens. So I may be putting up a picture of this, then putting up another picture when I get back. Going through thermal energy, radiant energy, electrical, and we'll see a couple of others as well. Making sure we just have all of those down. Okay, so I think that covers the journal thing, other than just to remind you that there's a test grade. So please remember that when you are going through and doing it. So the next assignment that you have from me, there will be, I think, another attached video, because I'm going to have to do it on my phone. I could just explain it, actually. I think I'll just explain it and then use last year's energy scavenger hunt. I'm changing up the directions a little bit, but it'll at least give you some of that, Johnson enthusiasm that everybody needs at a certain point in the day. So anyway, traditionally I have done this assignment by having people go around their yards, their life, just whatever they're doing, and recording examples of our different forms of energy, be that, chemical, as in found in the apple. Elastic potential is found in this trampoline. This has both the elastic and gravity because it's a springboard, but we're not going to talk about that. We see the nucleus of an atom. That's going to be nuclear. Popcorn popping, thermal energy, sound energy from the drums. This is going to be interesting because it's electrical and thermal energy for a lava lamp. We'll talk more about those. electromagnetic waves when we're looking at things going to like signals going to the TV and those sorts of things. And then dog energy, which is what I've been calling this for years, but it's really motion energy. So, finding those forms of energy, and this is part of why it's so important that we add examples when we're going through and doing things. Part of the whole ability to identify forms of energy comes from that standard. And I'm sure you can just see it popping up in text in front of my face right now. 6.3, 6.PS3.1, analyze and compare properties and sources of kinetic and potential energy. Then it has a colon and all these forms of energy. I didn't make you write that part down on the first of the standard, but we have gone over it quite a bit. So you're going to be really looking to figure out what makes these distinct from each other and what it is that is the character effects that we're looking at. Okay, so I am not the only one that was smart enough to put on the back of a page, hey, you're going to put glue here. Probably don't put, anything important. So that was thrilling. Okay, so you have this glue dot, this graphic organizer. I will be getting you copies. They go right along with these. I probably won't do them in color because it just doesn't seem to work. But we have these forms of energy comics that are real handy, but they tie right in with what we're doing here. Okay, so you have your forms of energy thing. The places to cut are going to be the shaded places. So again, I see shading on that corner. I'll cut it. And then I, of course, have some shading across the bottom. It also gives me a key to how to do things. Yes, I would like to stay on the call. Thank you. So anyway, I'm just showing you kind of how to do this. So cutting along, each tab is its own individual tab. You will cut at the solid lines. Sorry, that would be so much more helpful if I was doing it this way. The solid lines at the separations between images. Now, these don't have, they don't have things labeled. We clearly have a spot where we could write that in. They are not labeled yet. I'm going to give you the labels for them. So the first thing you'll want to do is flip this over and just bend those tabs in so that they kind of touch in the middle. It's okay if they overlap a little bit because the names for the various types of energy are going to be toward the outside of these cards. So it certainly, it just doesn't really matter if they're overlapping in the center or not. It's not going to affect what you have to do. And again, I will remind you that dog energy is not labeled as dog energy. It is labeled as motion. Dog energy is just too pure for this planet of ours. I'm a big fan of dogs. So eventually, it shows you where there are a couple of blue points. I'm not real worried about this because you are going to glue this into your journal eventually, but you're going to have to use it for a scavenger hunt first. So right now, it's like you just kind of have a packet. All right. Assuming that you are not acting like heathens, that I'm not having issues with substitutes calling me and saying, what are these kids doing? Assuming that you do what this class as a whole, like what you as a sixth grade group have shown me that you're extremely good at doing, which is getting to work when directions are given. I think that this will be something that you can quietly work on around the sixth grade hall and locker area with an adult supervising you. So you absolutely must have the teacher out there. You can't say, can I go? I'll fix you something. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll fix you something in a minute. So anyway, if you have someone out there with you, that's fine. You may not raise your hand and say, oh, I need to work on this. I will let the other teachers know that is not the case. I would advocate adding your name to the back. Mine is first name, Mrs. last name Johnson. But you'll have a name place for here. Okay. So before we get started, I want you, because you're still working on forms of energy, so it's a little complicated. I want you to go through and along the sides, label each one. The first one with you'll have a little blank space to do this. Because I've got a blank space, baby, for potential energy. I don't think I have a career in the future there. Okay, so the first one with popcorn popping, this is going to be a transfer of thermal energy, meaning that thermal energy is in itself a kinetic energy and thus can be transformed. No, I'm sorry, transferred through objects. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to hold it in with like a nice spiky high fever. Okay, so thermal energy is up first. Then you have guy or gal, could be either way, with the drums. And this is going to be kinetic energy, moves in sound waves, and that tells us that it is sound energy. Now, the apple at the top on the right, if you can eat it, yes, you can, or set it on fire. I have burned a pie. That is going to be chemical potential energy. And I will try to make sure that the copy that I send to get this printed, I'll try to make sure that I edit it so it actually shows what kinds you're looking for. Okay. We have a trampoline, which appears to be surrounded by minions, which is awful. That is something that we know is stretched or smushed past its normal shape. It transforms into kinetic energy when it snaps back to its original shape and sends that kinetic energy, transferring it to whoever is on there. Okay, so we have trampoline. The lava lamp is a little confusing, but I think because the plugs are so obvious, we're supposed to put electrical there. Similarly, we have a diver on a springboard, but for this sake, we're going to just list it as gravitational. You have waves moving around TVs and light. That is electromagnetic. Very easy to confuse electromagnetic and electric. Electricity is just the movement of electrons. So electrical energy, that's all it is. Moving electrons has to be touching something. There are a lot of complicated things there, and it can shock you. Electromagnetic energy moves in waves and rays. We don't see it. So this is, light energy, X-rays, gamma rays, solar rays, anything that can either give you a sunburn or, I don't know, cook you or turn you into a Hulk. I guess is a good way to explain that. Okay, the one with the nucleus of an atom is going to be nuclear. What would you like to eat, honey? And dog energy is, kinetic energy, which I'm going to abbreviate kinetic energy, but then for my own sanity, I'm going to put dog. So just the way I have these labeled, I'm gonna do that for you too. All right, so at that point, your instruction is going to be to go around and find examples for each of these in the 6th grade hallway. So, maybe, for example, for thermal energy, someone walks over and is like, oh, I need to move the lamp, and they grab the light bulb. Well, they may have just found a source of thermal energy, and they could write down the source, transfers heat. Yes, love. You want pretzels? I'll get you some pretzels. Can you give me just 1 minute, please? Okay, thank you. So, transfers heat would be that. And then you could go through, really, if you want like extra points, and add in that definition. Also tell me where you found it. I touched the light bulb. Not a good decision. Please don't do that. Okay. So you're going to go through and do that for each of these types, writing that information down. You'll turn it into me. I'll grade it. And hopefully this is going to be easy enough that everybody winds up with a pretty good grade here. Usually I get up and I go on this whole trip around showing how I would do it, but I just don't have it in me right now. So if you have any questions on anything up to date, please feel free to email me. I hope that these video lessons are helping. It might take up the whole class, but at least it is giving you instructions on what to do. So take care, stay well, wash your hands, just do all the things. And stay sciency, I guess. Bye.